Hello, everyone. You might remember our live podcast related to the automotive business. If you didn't check it out, you can actually check the link in the description. However, it seems some people asked us to maybe follow up on this podcast a little bit. And that's why we are coming with a set of conversations about the automotive business. Particularly this time talking about battery manufacturing. So we will start with the episode 1 that I would call Trends in EV Battery Manufacturing. So again, I have Lucas Majewski with me. Hello, Lucas. Glad to have you here again.
Good morning, Piotr, and thank you for inviting me once again to discuss about the next trends related to the EV industry, as you said, that are EV battery assembly, so manufacturing. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to follow up with some of the claims that we did before. So I think in the series we will be talking about energy efficiency and maybe how to make automotive production flexible and so on. Mm-hmm. But the first episode, let's make about various trends in this particular area. So could you list what are the changes that are happening in this industry?
Yeah, so thank you for this question. So there are currently many trends that modify the environment of the EV battery assembly. That is only one that I really would like to emphasize is the battery passport, which is a new regulation that will come in force, in application in the next few years. And battery passport is supposed to be the digital twin of the battery. So it's supposed to be the digital representation of the battery. And this will contain all the ESG, so environmental, social, and governance information about this battery and also the life cycle. So it means that we are looking for a sustainable battery production. How it will supposed to work? So it's supposed to have open, transparent, and secure information. So we believe that it will be based on the blockchain. And I mentioned that it is a regulation, so it means that it will come into application in January 2026. So it means tomorrow already. Mm-hmm. Because when you see how long time is necessary to decide on a project and implement, so this means that you already have to take into account those requirements and how you implement it today. The second point is that about these trends is related to the assembly of packs and modules. Other trend we see is that now it's closer to the end users. Before we happen to have production in one place, assembly in another, and so on. Now we see that this assembly of EV battery, so modules and packs, are sometimes even inside the premises of the car maker. So it's as close as possible to limit, the transportation, limit the carbon emissions, and appear really more greener. So those are two important trends we see.
That means that the battery manufacturing company can actually manufacture the product in the end user's facilities. That's your point?
The point is that I can mention one example. When I said that it's in the premises of the car maker, that you have, dedicated, for example, not like joint venture, but cooperation between the two companies. Yes, and they cooperate to make this assembly together and then have, the final product available for the car maker. And again, as close as possible to limit the transportation and so on.
Mm-hmm. And that is mostly to reduce emissions, costs of transportation, something like that?
Yes, and also to be able to provide faster to the market the final product, which is the car. Because if you have, all those elements that are composing the car, you can make them faster and provide faster also to your customers.
Okay,
that's also one of the ideas.
So you mentioned the battery passport, which is kind of like for me a change of organization, so to say. So you change the approach to manufacturing in a way that you want to become more transparent, you want to deliver product that is fairly produced and so on. Then you mentioned the assembly of modules closer to the end user. Those are trends that are, I believe, quite visible already on the market, because well, you can read a lot in the news about those points. Is there any other trend in particular related to technology of those batteries?
Yeah, that's there's another one that also I would like to mention about what we call cell-to-pack assembly. It's not like a really, new technology or breakthrough technology, but it was not widely spread. There are very few companies that were using it, but we see that it's gaining now more and more attention because we see that with this technology, we can simply, reduce the space in the pack also, because if you don't have the modules, it means that you will have more space to put cells inside and also limit all the production around the modules because you don't require it anymore. So means that you will also reduce the cost of production of those packs. So consequently, we have like increased volume, for more power in this pack available for the car. You will also reduce the number of parts, as I mentioned, because you don't have the modules, all those components around are no longer necessary. And finally, it leads to improving the production efficiency by reducing, the number of steps by approximately 50%. So it's really a high number, and we see a lot of interest around this technology from our customers.
So by changing the way how the battery is made, you actually can get higher energy inside and you can make it lighter and so on. So completely improving the parameters.
Yes, and I can mention here two specific, I would say, KPIs that we have that when it comes to power, as you mentioned, we see an increase of around 13%. That's an average number, so it really depends, again, on type of cells and so on. And when it comes to the weight, the reduction varies around 10, a little more percent also. So we see a direct impact also for the car makers when you provide, more power, more density, and lighter battery that will be used in the cars.
So in your opinion, these three trends that you just mentioned, you believe they will define the battery manufacturing in the coming years?
I believe that this will definitely impact the way the batteries are assembled. And I like to come back to this battery passport because this will be also one of the very first approach when we will have full transparency on the whole value chain, starting from the raw materials extraction until the disposal of the battery. So this will be very, very new, approach also, and I believe it will be duplicated to other industry. But yes, definitely on the EV battery assembly, it will modify the space as we see it is now.
And it's only 4 years from now.
Yes, the implementation of battery passport is planned currently in January 2026, so entering into application in the 1st of January, where you are supposed to have like a QR code on your battery. It may be a different, way, but it's supposed to be a QR code that you can simply, scan and see, as I mentioned, so the ESG information, life cycle information, etc., on the battery.
Okay. Very interesting stuff, and I think it's a good foundation for other episodes that we might record even today. So thank you for this, and see you all in the next episode.
Thank you, Piotr, again.